Hey, One Stop Co-op Shop viewers. Today we're going to look at the new adventure game series from Cosmos, and specifically Monochrome Inc. They came out with two releases for this series recently. One is Monochrome Inc., which you'll note has a 16 and over age recommendation, so I don't know how much of a disclaimer to give yet because I haven't actually played it, but I'll add one in if it's really serious. And Cosmos, as you probably already know, has done the Exit game series, but these, as you'll see, kind of feel a bit more like Choose Your Own Adventure mixed with Unlock, so definitely kind of a different thing going on here. But this is definitely a one-off kind of experience. Once you see, like, the solutions to the puzzles and things, that's pretty much it. So with that in mind, I'm going to show a very short subsection of the gameplay, just so you kind of get a feel for how it works, but I'm not going to do a full playthrough video because I don't want to spoil the entire content. I still want you to be interested in buying it. Another note, this was a review copy sent to us, so check out my review if you want to see how I feel about both games in the series. And a final note, big thank you to our Patreon supporters. I put out which of the two sets they'd like to see a recording of, and they chose Monochrome Inc., so thank you for your vote, everyone, and thanks for your support, as always. Alright, so let's dig into this thing. We've got a general rule book, but I'll be explaining that, so no need for that. You've got this adventure book with tons of entries based on numbers. And the numbers can go pretty high, like into the 5 or 6 digits, as you'll see here. And you'll see how we get to those. All right, we got some characters. Let's see. Definitely a more modern one than the dungeon, which was kind of a medieval sort of setting. So here we go, our possible characters. You get this selection of locations, so they go, in this case, A through T. These are big chunky cards. You'll see the first one in a second, but they kind of help you organize where you're going in the game. Gave us some bags, nice touch there. Got some color-coded standees. So let's see, I always like red, that's my color of choice. And let's throw in some green for good measure. Then finally, we got some sets of cards. We got a turnover view and an advertisement for the other set. But these are going to stay in order, and we'll kind of dig in and see them in a moment. So I've jumped ahead in setup, but already there's some cool stuff going on because this is different than the dungeon rules. I'm glad I read the rule book because it had some new stuff in there. So in the dungeon one, I just had like different locations I was moving between. Here I've got levels and an elevator that I have to use to move up between those levels, and they kind of imply that there would be more elevators as I went. Additionally, I've got a 2-card combo that forms the alarm level. That's exciting. In the dungeon, instead, we had like hit points we would lose when certain things happen. But I guess here the alarm is kind of subbing in for that. And in addition, I've got little cards for each of my characters. So it looks like I am Ramon the burglar and Chu the con artist. And we're going to get special cards to start the game, items for ourselves. And there is a bit of a narrative introduction. You are no ordinary street gang. The people who hire you need something done, urgently, discreetly, illegally. Business has been slow recently, though, and it's been a while since your last job. Are you maybe under surveillance and the organization has blacklisted you? A sound brings you back to reality. On the floor in front of your door is a misshapen package. It's unmarked and there's neither an address nor a sender on it. There's no point in taking a look through the peephole either. The package was surely delivered by drone. Burning with curiosity, you tear the package open. Inside are several pairs of those fancy new AR data glasses along with a brief message. Put these on. You curiously do as you're told. A building appears before your eyes and you hear a man's voice speak. Hello and thank you for your attention. I am Ovin. This is Monochrome Inc. You are probably already familiar with the company. In the past few years, it has grown to become one of the top 3 pharmaceutical enterprises in the world. Rumor has it they've now developed a groundbreaking new product, a miracle cure called Rainbow. It is said to improve concentration and physical performance as well as to greatly accelerate tissue repairs, supposedly without any kind of side effects. Everything is still very hush-hush at the moment. Monochrome is currently conducting extensive tests on Rainbow in the remote research facility you can see here. Have we got your attention now? Good, because we want you to find out more about Rainbow. We've managed to obtain basic staff passes to get you into the building. We need you to gain access to the restricted levels, find out more about the synthesized process, and if possible, get your hands on the formula. It's probably stored in a well-secured lab. Just 3 more things. First, with all of our best interests in mind, make sure you don't leave any trace of your presence behind. Nothing that could be associated with us or connected back to us. Second, you can use the data glasses inside the building to communicate with one another and to see and hear what the others are seeing and hearing. Third, you're not the first ones we've hired for this job. We lost contact with the previous team a while ago, so be on your guard. As the final sentences are uttered, the pictures of a man and a woman fade in, and the glasses turn clear again and you look around at each other. Rainbow, the effects seem greatly exaggerated, but your client Oven is convinced it's extremely valuable, so why not? A few days later, you find yourselves on the ground floor of Monochrome Inc's remote research facility. It's after midnight. You catch a glimpse of a white cat just before it vanishes behind some furnishings. Hopefully, no one else has already detected your presence. The stolen staff passes have gotten you this far. Now you're on your own. Okay, so we're going to flip level A, the A kind of location card, read that entry in the adventure book, and then we take mission 1 card. That's our mission to start. So we'll flip A. Let's look at this. So these cards, levels in this version, have locations on them. So you'll see these entries. And basically, if I want to go over and explore them, I move my standee onto that space, and then I read that entry in the adventure book, and it'll give me my options and what I might do. But first, let's look at our mission. Okay, your client wants you to find out more about Rainbow, gain access to the restricted levels. You should also gather information about the manufacturing process and steal the formula. So I guess I should get my starting items real quick. All right, so let's see. Chu says, exploring location with this symbol raises the alarm level by 1. Oh, these are handicaps. Okay, so she's, I guess, bad at voice recognition, so I don't want her to explore those locations. And Ramon is bad at fingerprints, so I don't want him to explore that one. I guess because he's a burglar and his fingerprints are already in the APHIS system or something. So, interesting. Okay, so some locations are better for them to explore than others. Now, as I said, you read the location. It's going to tell you like what all the numbers represent to give you kind of a hint of what you might want to do. The smart lobby is deserted. At its center are 2 elevators. One travels to the lower levels, 106, the other to the upper levels. Between them, stairs lead up to a painting, 101. 2 richly ornamented bronze statues of lions flank the stairs, 105. You take a quick look around and see the entrance to the cafeteria, 107, a large screen, 103, and several items lying on the floor, 104. There also is an open elevator waiting for you on the left, F1. So your turns in the game are pretty simple. First of all, you can both exchange items if you're on the same level. So I could give Ramon something that Chu had found. Then I can move, and I can move freely with the elevator at any level, but I'm going to end up either on the elevator if I don't want to take an action for the turn, or I'm going to end up on one of these locations that I want to explore or interact with. And then finally, I can take an action. So the most common action is just reading the entry for something. That means investigating it. But as you get items, and there's a bad example because 50 is just a handicap, but as you get items, you can combine them as your action with a location, like try a key on a door, for example. And whenever you do that, it's not like Unlock where you add the numbers together. Instead, you take the lower value card, or value in general, and you add that on to the digits of the higher value to create a multi-digit number. So here, if I did like handicap with 102, it would be 50102. I would read that 5-digit number. My final option is to combine items, and again, it's the same thing. So if I did these two, I would read 4950 and see if anything was there for that entry. All right, so Chu is bad at the voice recognition stuff. Let's check out this large screen first and see what it has to say. As if hypnotized, you approach the big screen showing wafts of mist. Above it is a little recess. It's too high for you to reach, though. So if I got a ladder or something, I could use that item probably with this to get some better result there. As for Ramon, he'll check out the items on the floor since Chu would raise the alarm if she did. Someone has carelessly just left some items lying around. Take adventure cards 10 and 11. So, ooh, well, here we go. I guess we can get up there now. We've got a rope ladder and a grappling hook. Now, you do also get an exchange items phase at the beginning and end of your turn. So I'm going to go ahead and give Chu the rope ladder and have her try again and see what happens now with the screen up there. So again, the entry I'm reading is 10103. So I don't add them together. I just put one after the other with the lower number first. The rope ladder on its own won't be of any use here. Perhaps it works if you combine it with something else first. Okay, I guess maybe I need to throw it up there with the grappling hook. Maybe this is sort of a tutorial, because that's what they did with the other set. So I'm going to give both these back to Ramon, have him combine them. That'll mean he'll read the entry for 1011, and most likely it'll tell me to get a new item that's a combination of the two. And indeed, I was right. It says you attach the hook to the rope ladder, and now I discard both of these, and I have a hook ladder. Look at that. And Ramon will give this back to Chu at the end of his turn, and she'll now do 12103, combining the item with the location. You swing the hook on your ladder and hook it over the pink ceiling pipe. Now you can reach the recess. If you want to take a look inside, read entry 180. So you'll have a lot of these sort of choose-your-own-adventure-ish elements where you get to decide if you want to push further, and I will in this case. Suddenly there's a flash and you hear a faint click. Darn it! There's a camera hidden in the recess that presumably just saved your image in the security system. Take adventure card 15 and raise the alarm level by 1. Alright, so we're on level 1. Looks like we get something bad happening if we reach level 5. Oh, and okay, so now Chu specifically has facial recognition. They know what she looks like. So that means that if she does any of these locations as well, she has to raise the alarm level by 1. So she has to sneak around and not do those kind of things. Well, thank you, game, for teaching me how to use the hook ladder, but punishing me for exploring. Alright, so back to Ramon. He'll go to the lion, since, again, Chu can't explore that. She's getting much more limited. She'll have to go to the fingerprint ones he can't do. The bronze lion sits on a pedestal in a menacing pose and intimidates all those who enter his territory. On a board beside it you read, Monochrome Inc. was established in 1993 by Lord Emsley. Today it is one of the world's leading pharmaceutical manufacturers with subsidiaries in 63 countries. In 2027 it introduced the miracle cure Rainbow to the market. Well, someone sure is feeling optimistic. The drug hasn't even been released into the market yet. Alrighty, let's jump over to, I think 107 was the way to the cafeteria. Let's see what they say there. In the cafeteria, you find an empty can of Rush and a candy bar. They're probably left over from an employee's health snack. There's also a water dispenser. Well, at least you won't die of thirst here. Take adventure cards 13 and 14. Chu's got a chocolate bar and a crumpled can of Rush. I guess that's a source of aluminum, so that might be helpful later. Alright, so Ramon will go over here, since Chu's facial recognition would hurt her if she did it, and check out that painting. The marble staircase leads up to a brightly illuminated painting. Below there is the name Lord Elmsley. Well, not too useful there. Alright, so there's 2 more fingerprint ones he can't do. I guess she'll check one out and then he'll go up to the next level. Okay, so 102. A sign beside the elevator indicates that it travels to the floors with restricted access. You press the button to call the elevator, but nothing happens. A message flashes on the screen, insert security ID. Well, there's the first thing I need to get. And meanwhile, Ramon is going up to, let's go to the offices, the next floor. And we reveal it and then read the entry for B. You reach a spacious floor with high ceilings that looks like some kind of workshop or assembly facility. Right in front of you, a computer, 201, and several files, 205, sit on a large desk. At the center of the room is a strange piece of equipment, 206. Behind it, you spot a stack of cloth sacks, 202, and a huge sign, 203, hangs from the ceiling. 5 meters up, below the ventilation shafts, is a little maintenance platform, 204. Now let's see, you'll check out the huge sign first, 203. On the sign, you read the first slogans for the new miracle cure, Rainbow, the product of the millennium. Rainbow cures everything. It claims a dose a day for the rest of your life. If this ad is anything to go by, then Ovid isn't exaggerating. But who believes advertising anyway? The market launch does appear to be imminent, though. Looking up, you also spot a small object that one of the staff appears to have left on the sign. If only you could reach it. Alright, so once Chu comes up here, we'll try to get some items from her, because she can't explore this without taking an alarm. In fact, here, she'll come back to the other elevator, because I doubt she can get to it. So she'll call this elevator and head up to the offices too. And she'll explore the computer. She can do that safely. You sit down at the computer and eye the keyboard. Take adventure card 90 and read it aloud. If it's no longer in the game, read entry 234. Password query. Please enter a password. So I'm Chu, and you'll see that this will often happen. You'll get different entries based on character, and sometimes different things will happen. You'll get different story elements. So 245. Technology. Take a deep breath in. I much prefer people. I'm all about emotions, hopes, motivation, eye contact, body language. That's my thing. Why do I have to be the one to take care of the computer? You can't joke around with a computer. You can't have a good chat, or flirt with it for that matter either. That said, there are meant to be some really clever chatbots out there these days. None's impressed me so far, though. They're far too predictable. But back to the computer. It must be possible to switch it on somehow. Ah, there's the on button. Now something's happening. Damn, it's asking for a password. Okay, return the card to the box. If I'd like to try guessing the password, read entry 800. No, I think she seems like maybe not the right person for this. I'm not sure Ramon the burglar would be much better, but yeah, I didn't realize Chu is completely useless with technology. That's definitely good to know. But she will end her turn by giving Ramon the hook ladder, and he'll try to hook up to the object above the sign, so that's 12203. From up here, you can finally reach the item. Take card 19. Ooh, we got a lighter. Set off a water system or something, maybe? I'm not sure. Now, let's see. Chu will go check out the sacks in the back, since Ramon can't do it safely. The cloth sacks are filled with dirty laundry, including a uniform from a security company. That might come in useful as a disguise to stop any curious looks. You also find a length of used plastic tubing. Take adventure cards 17 and 18. Security uniform and plastic tubing. Not sure what to do with those yet. Alright, so let's have Ramon check out the ventilation shaft, or maintenance shaft here. Scaling the maintenance platform, you climb up just below the gray-green ventilation shaft. A constant flow of air blows over your skin, drawing the air upward. The ventilators probably take the air up to the floors above. After a few meters, the shaft disappears into the ceiling. Alright, so I'm not sure what to do with that yet. I guess I could, like, light a fire or something, but for now we'll leave that as is. Alright, Chu will cover Ramon's weaknesses again and go check out the files. You quickly scan the documents and find the secretary's agenda. Flipping to a random date, you begin reading. Friday. Man, is he annoying. If I have to get just one more can of that damned rush for him, I'll flip out. No one else here drinks that disgusting stuff. And now he wants me to serve him a fresh can at the cafeteria every day. What is he thinking? I'm a secretary, not a waiter. The usual issues with the boss. Maybe the most recent entries will be more enlightening. Take adventure card 22, then continue reading. That might be something. As you tear out the last page, a little piece of notepaper falls out. On it is the word password. As your initial elation about your discovery subsides, you realize it's encrypted. Take adventure card 23. Alright, so 22. Memo addiction. Phew, that was a tough week, and I'm so relieved that the research director will be out all day today. I'll be able to have a bit of a quiet day. That said, my inbox is absolutely overflowing. Maybe the boys from the long-term study have a new rainbow sample. I could really use a sip today. It does wonders for my concentration. Allegedly, they've solved the addiction problem now. Sure. Wednesday, it's strange. I haven't seen Betty from accounting for days now. Maybe she's off sick after this stressful weekend. Okay, the lion surveys his lord's holdings. How many does he see? If you know how many, add this to the number on the adventure card, then combine the sum with a location. Alright, so clearly that's referring back to the lion in the first floor. Let's send Ramon back down there and see what that said again. The lion surveys his lord's holdings. How many does he see? It says, today is one of the world's leading pharmaceutical manufacturers with subsidiaries in 63 countries. Okay, that seems like that's probably what it's looking for. Thanks, Ramon, for checking it out. All right, so back to level B. So 63 plus 23, that's 86. And then it says add it with a location, so 86201. Let's check that out. You enter the password and hold your breath as you press to confirm. After a few seconds, the desktop screen loads. It works. You finally have access to the computer. Return adventure card 23 to the box. There are several folders on the desktop. If you want to access the facial recognition folder, read entry 852. If you want to access the computer viruses, read entry 862. Once you have chosen your option, you can try the other in the next turn. All right, so I'm going to do 852, see if I can clear my face out of their records and make myself safer again. You click through the most recent log entries. Monochrome Inc. is certainly thorough. That much rapidly becomes clear. In fact, the cameras have recorded every single step you've taken since you entered the building. Only the entry for level A appears to be defective. Take adventure card 82 and read it aloud. Okay, this seems like the perfect opportunity to fulfill your client's wish for confidentiality. With a certain sense of satisfaction, you begin to delete the data. Reduce the alarm level by 2, so we're back to 0. Return cards 15, 51, and 82 to the box. Awesome. So we are now not going to have facial recognition, and since these are going to the box, we won't even be able to gain it later in the mission. Love it. We are hacking with the best of them, baby. All right, so she'll check out the other entry next turn, but let's have Ramon ride the elevator up and check out this little chair of death contraption here. You've never seen a Holmes 1 up close before. This outrageously expensive fingerprint scanner can scan absolutely anything. Good old Sherlock would turn green with envy. And best of all, it can also create artificial fingerprints if need be. If you'd like to scan your fingerprints, read entry 850. Heck yes, because this is the guy that has a fingerprint problem. A blue light comes on, and then inside, small metallic arms begin circling around your hands and fingers, slowly at first, then faster and faster. The machine then stops abruptly. The lights turn red, and the message intruder detected booms from its speakers. Raise the alarm level by 1. Take adventure card 20. Oh, darn, things are going so well. At least in the good sense, this guy now has a double handicap for that, so she can still, it would have been terrible if she had tried to do it. Okay, so it did not work, and now he is doubly dangerous with fingerprint things, but so it goes. All right, now she's going to check out the computer virus folder. Okay, if I have a USB flash drive, you can copy a virus over. Ooh, I don't. If you want to do this, return adventure card 25 to the box and take adventure card 54 instead. Oh, that's so cool. But yeah, so I can't get a computer virus yet. But once I find a USB drive, I guess I could. All right, so we're going to stop there. I know that's a super quick look, but I really don't want to spoil it if you're interested in this and want to pick it up. Do check out my review if you get a chance. That'll be for both of the sets because I'm going to finish playing this one, and then I'll tell you how I felt. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.